Someone's in here. Someone's in here. You are laughing!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the films that crashed and burned, at least in part because of their poor casting.
Robin? I'm freaking Robin? And why are we chasing a runaway train?
Number 20, Cats. It takes some serious skill to turn one of the longest-running Broadway musicals ever into a box office dud of epic proportions.
Stop my Jones in white spot! Yeah!
It's even more guffawing when you realize the amazing cast they assembled. You've got Jennifer Hudson, you've got Dame Judi Dench, you've even got Sir Ian frickin' McKellen.
The fiend of the fast.
And yet, none of them could turn in a halfway decent performance. Whether it was because the performances were too campy, or perhaps not campy enough, the fact of the matter is, no one was acting well beneath that hideous CGI fur. Suffice it to say, the only memories we have of Cats are nightmares.
I am the only contestant left. And quite obviously the best.
Number 19, The Last Airbender.
Is there a spiritual place where I can meditate?
Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here. Without even delving into the very obvious whitewashing, the cast of The Last Airbender is riddled with misfires. To start, their leading man had never acted before. And yes, you can tell.
What if we found you teachers to teach you bending? Which element would you have to learn first?
Water. Water comes after air in the cycle.
Then there's Katara's actress, whose dad happens to be a billionaire investor. Based on her wooden delivery, there's not a lot of gray area in wondering how she booked the part.
You're not taking him anywhere.
No one is taking anybody away.
We could go on, but you get the point. Part of the reason Avatar remains so popular is because of its compelling, three-dimensional characters. Without them at the core, all you're left with is one of the most egregious live-action adaptations ever made.
We'll catch him soon, Uncle. Then we can think about the pretty girls.
Number 18, Dolittle. Following up his career-defining work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the world anxiously waited to see what opportunities Robert Downey Jr. would pursue next. All those eyes ended up being a curse when he fell flat on his face in Dolittle.
Is it yours?
I don't own anybody. Yoshi had an issue that he came to me with.
Despite being an alleged passion project, Downey Jr. sounds completely bored in every scene. Then again, that might be just the horrible accent.
Very freeing, actually. One must hug uncertainty, don't you think? That's how Lily lived her life. Embrace the unknown, and the answers will be revealed.
You sad, misguided nut!
It's a far cry from Tony Stark's razor-sharp wit, and audiences were not keen. Dolittle wasn't just a box office disappointment, it was a total train wreck. Next time Downey Jr. picks a passion project, fingers crossed he shows some of that enthusiasm on screen.
I have procured that which you said does not exist. Behold, the fruit of the Eden tree. I said clear a path.
Number 17, After Earth. In what might be the most Nepo Baby film of all Nepo Baby films, Will Smith didn't just get his son the leading role in a blockbuster. He got them both roles.
It's a very special day for our family.
Sadly, the one thing Will didn't do was put them in acting classes. Jaden sure does a lot of screaming in After Earth, but none of it really connects.
She gave me an order. She said no matter what, don't come out of that box.
Will doesn't fare much better, and in the end, both performances get lost in the overblown special effects. To prove it, Jaden and Will each respectively won Golden Raspberry Awards for Worst Actor, Worst Supporting Actor, and Worst On-Screen Combo. Next time they want to spend time together, they should choose something less expensive.
This mission has reached abort criteria.
I take full responsibility. You did your best.
You have nothing more to prove.
Number 16, Psycho. Since this 1998 remake is a shot-for-shot copy of Alfred Hitchcock's classic, the only possible reason to see it will be to appreciate a new actor's take on these characters. Unfortunately, they cast Anne Hesh and Vince Vaughn.
It's not as if she were a maniac or a raving thing. She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
Yes.
In Hesh's hands, Marion Crane comes across as a shrill shadow of her former self. but that's nothing compared to what happens to Norman Bates.
Shut up! Shut up!
The fact that Vince Vaughn is now known for raunchy comedies is a good indicator about how this worked out. With just one look, it's clear as day why this movie was outright rejected by moviegoers.
We scratch and claw, but only at the ear. Only at each other.
Number 15, Catwoman.
Oh, too bad.
You have to feel at least a little bad for Halle Berry here. She was a bona fide A-lister coming off of X-Men and Monsters Ball. But then, Catwoman had her eat animal food on screen. Really. The rest of the movie is stuffed full of cat puns and strange story choices that make it feel more like an experimental college show than a big-budget blockbuster.
You hear that? It's called silence. That's all I ever wanted. Now keep it down. Thanks for the party.
For what it's worth, Halle Berry is 100% committed to the bit. Although, that's kind of the issue. She embraces her feline instincts so much, the rest of the movie became the laughingstock of the superhero world.
Not that kind of girl.
What kind of girl is that?
A loser.
Number 14, Alexander.
No! No! You've taken from me everything I've ever loved! Baby, you!
Stop it! Stop acting like a boy!
Is this a movie or a documentary? It's genuinely hard to tell at points. In fact, there's so little narrative momentum in Alexander, the only thing that could have possibly saved it were some powerhouse performances. Except, we didn't get that. Val Kilmer is given nothing but hokey lines, Angelina Jolie is stuck voguing for 3 hours, and even leading man Colin Farrell struggles to muster any emotion.
Have courage, Father. And go on your way rejoicing that at each step you may recall your valor.
Instead of rousing and climactic, their performances make Alexander feel twice as long as it actually is. The movie ended up totally flopping at the box office, and quite frankly, it's justified. Hey, at least all these actors would go on to much better things.
We're going home. We're going home.
Number 13, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Hey, I think I got something that'll cheer you up. I'm meeting at Warner Brothers about some high-tech movie thing. You should come. Cool?
Yeah, Dad.
Look, we all love LeBron James. However, an actor, he is not. While the Space Jam formula worked well enough for Michael Jordan back in the day, A New Legacy demands too much from James's rudimentary skills. He utters every piece of dialogue like it has a question mark at the end.
You think it's a game. I'm calling authorities on you because what you got going on here...
On this phone?
How'd you do that?
Considering the movie is centered on James searching for his son, the lack of emotion is a massive hurdle.
Where's my son?
Oh, now you want to be Daddy of the Year? Just calm down, LeBron. He'll be here, okay? We got bigger fish to fry.
To make matters worse, James is surrounded by some of the industry's best voice talent, bringing the Looney Tunes cast to life.
Look, Bugs, you already got what you wanted. Your friends, Toon World. I still need my son back.
In comparison, James just can't compete.
Well, at least we're good.
Number 12, Swept Away.
Thought we agreed that we were going to get dressed up for dinner. If you're going to put us on a boat built for pirates, can we at least not dress like one?
Based on the 1974 original, Swept Away is about a spoiled socialite who washes up on a deserted island with her old deckhand. She learns the error of her ways, begins a romantic relationship with him, and leaves as a better person. The movie hinges on the audience buying into Amber's growth. But when it's Madonna spouting off unconvincing insults, the movie would be lucky if viewers took it seriously at all.
Fooking's the name of the fish.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't care if it's fooking, puking, or a kung fu king. I want that fish, and I want it tonight.
Unconvincing is a good word for this remake altogether. There's simply not enough nuance in Madonna's delivery for the movie to land, and as a result, Swept Away sank at the box office just like Amber's ship.
Go! Shout! Shout!
Somebody help!
Oh, she's crying for help, the idiot!
Number 11, Dear Evan Hansen. When Ben Platt originated the role of Evan Hansen on Broadway, he cried his way to a Tony Award. But if you put that same performance on film, it reeks of overacting.
I never thought that it would go this far.
Ignoring the fact that he's clearly a 27-year-old trying to play a high school student, Platt plays to the back row even though the camera is right in front of his face. It makes Evan's tearful soliloquies more uncomfortable than moving.
Something other than this mess that I am, because then I don't have to look at it, and no one gets to look at it.
The performance may have worked if Dear Evan Hansen committed to its exaggerated reality, but the rest of the cast is taking an incredibly grounded approach to the work, which creates a tonal imbalance that tears the whole movie apart. You don't have to ask us, though. The poor box office speaks for itself.
What I did, I can't even. It's the worst thing.
Number 10, The Love Guru. This comedy was not only bad, it arguably helped end Mike Myers' career as a funny live-action leading man.
Ajnish, I'd like an alligator soup and make it snappy. Because alligators are snappy, and at the same time I want it prompt.
He stars as the titular love guru, who must help the best player on the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team get through some personal problems. Myers doesn't shine his brightest in the role, and even won the Razzie Award for Worst Actor.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Wow, these things are heavy. Yeah.
Put me down, a-hole.
Okay.
But he's not the only one who disappoints. Many of the movie's Razzie nominations were for its acting, with Jessica Alba, Vern Troyer, and Oscar winner Ben Kingsley also receiving nominations. The Love Guru made a little over $40 million on a $62 million budget, which tells you everything you need to know.
What's the capital of Thailand?
Bangkok?
Exactly.
Oh! Omar Sharif, my ball!
Number 9, The Mummy. Tom Cruise doesn't miss often, but when he does, he misses hard.
What are you doing here?
Jenny looks good.
Okay, this isn't happening.
I mean, really great.
Really, stop.
The Mummy served as a reboot of the long-running horror franchise, and it looked to kickstart a brand new shared world centered around the classic Universal Studios monsters. The film's budget reportedly fell between $125 to $195 million, and it grossed a seemingly successful $410 million. But it appears no expense was spared on promotion, which meant money was lost in the end.
Like a curse.
Around here, that's just another word for treasure. And this guy, this Henry guy, he seems to want it pretty bad. Well, now he's gonna have to pay double.
The Mummy's failures were many, and critics often pointed to the acting as a particular source of contention. Cruise's performance didn't measure up to his career highs, and he was aided by disappointing showings from the supporting cast, including the Razzie-nominated Russell Crowe and Sofia Boutella. Number 8, The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Few movies have bombed as hard as The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Well, he'll help us. He couldn't sing a note if it weren't for me.
You taught Tony Francis how to sing?
No, I convinced a bookie not to pour some acid down his throat.
It's one of the worst performing releases of all time, grossing a pitiful $7.1 million on an $100 million budget. The fact that disaster was on the horizon was evident from the jump. Both actor Joe Pantoliano and director Ron Underwood have claimed that they knew the film left a lot to be desired even as they were making it.
It's a cryogenic chihuahua.
It's a real dog.
Oh, yeah, it's very delicate. You know it's illegal to bring pets up here. But I got a friend back in Juarez who knows how to freeze-dry these things.
Underwood pointed to his star Eddie Murphy, claiming that he wasn't feeling that funny. This opinion was mirrored by critics, who berated Murphy's lead performance and felt it was uncharacteristically dull. It's safe to say it's certainly a blemish on the actor's otherwise legendary resume.
It is a pleasure to meet me.
Number 7, Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall, what's the worst casting of all? Well, here it is. While some took issue with the colorblind casting of a princess dubbed the fairest of them all, at least Rachel Zegler can sell a scene. The same cannot be said for Gal Gadot's questionable turn as the evil queen.
But if you get the deed finally done, I'll proceed. Second to none with no doubt. When I'm going out, mirror on the wall.
Any shred of the character's malice and intrigue is lost in her highly dubious line readings, auto-tuned singing, and inability to move her neck in her costume.
Delicate, elegant, exquisite.
It's a baffling performance so bad, it's a wonder Disney didn't pull the plug after seeing the dailies. Maybe then they wouldn't have so much money when Snow White flopped.
If you want the throne, take it.
Number 6, Kazam. Shaquille O'Neal is a spectacular basketball player, but in this case, his acting chops didn't live up to his athletic skill.
And if you girls are hungry, let's green, egg, and ham it.
Kazam was released in 1996, the same year O'Neal won gold at the Olympics and moved from the Magic to the Lakers. It was a huge year for his career, but he wasn't able to capitalize it with Kazam. He plays the titular character, a genie who grants 3 wishes to the young Max. O'Neal's performance was enjoyed by some, including critic Roger Ebert, but most found it uninteresting and it has since become the target of jokes. The movie bombed, grossing just under its budget of $20 million, and O'Neal later admitted that he only did it for the experience and money.
You realize who I am? I'm your genie.
In that case, I wish I was as big as you, but not so stupid.
That's not a wish. That's an insult.
Number 5. Jely. On paper, Jely is a winner. It was written and directed by the Oscar-nominated Martin Brest and featured a number of A-list celebrities.
Put some on your head. Your tongue would slap your brains out trying to get to it. Interested? Sure.
The cast was led by Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, who starred as the titular Larry Jely. Despite the duo being a real-life couple when the movie was released, folks felt they lacked on-screen spark, and the movie floundered. Both received Razzies, and they even won together for Worst Screen Couple.
It's turkey time.
Huh?
Gobble, gobble.
Even fabled actors like Al Pacino and Christopher Walken had nothing to work with the latter giving a horribly over-the-top performance as a detective chasing Jely. The movie made just over $7 million on a $75.6 million budget and effectively ended Bress's directing career.
Oh, and in case you're interested, my life sucks. All right? Stick a fork in me, I'm done.
Number 4. Glitter. Mariah Carey likely hoped to become a film star with Glitter, but that didn't quite pan out.
So I was just wondering.
Wondering what?
Is this a date?
No, this is not a date.
The movie's story feels derivative, with Carey playing an aspiring singer who falls for a DJ. Unoriginal scripts can still work with sharp writing and good performances, but Glitter contained neither. Carey's performance is considered particularly egregious.
There's more? There's better? Well, I want some of that.
It's been said that she often fails to emote, and many of her scenes come across as painfully awkward, but Carey would be the first to admit that it was bad. She's spoken at length about the movie's failure and the toll it took on her. Thankfully, there's always the mega successful singing career to fall back on. Number 3. The Wicker Man. Is Nicolas Cage the most memed actor of all time? If not, he's certainly up there.
No, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! Eyes! Ah!
The Wicker Man is 2 things: a remake of a beloved horror movie from 1973 and a goldmine of unintentional laughs. Cage plays Edward Malis, a cop who explores a pagan island off the coast of Washington for a missing girl. He hams it up to an absurd degree, and many people find his role overacted and hilarious.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
I don't know!
Look, Cage is a great actor, but not here. Not with this level of terrible line delivery. Poor reviews and bad word of mouth quickly spread, not to mention the jokes. And the movie failed to meet its $40 million budget. But hey, we can never forget that Not the Beast sequence. I mean, come on, it's hilarious.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey!
Number 2. Showgirls. Yeah, you've heard us talk about this one before. Many factors went into the bombing of Showgirls.
Nice dress.
Thanks. It's a Versace.
It's Versace.
What?
Versace. It's pronounced Versace.
For one thing, the movie was released with an NC-17 rating, meaning nobody under 17 could be admitted. Most mainstream movies avoid this rating, as it's considered a death knell for box office success. For another, it just wasn't considered very good, with most aspects of the production earning criticism. The acting was often singled out for condemnation, especially as Elizabeth Berkley's lead performance as Nomi Malone.
What do you want? Burger, fries, and soda. Get us some brown rice, vegetables, and a bottle of Evian.
Showgirls was nominated for a staggering 13 Razzies, with 6 coming from the acting categories. Berkley was notably awarded Worst Actress, and the film's failure also marked the end of her time with the Creative Artists Talent Agency.
There's always someone younger and hungrier coming down the stairs after you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Battlefield Earth. This notorious film seems to have been something of a passion project for John Travolta.
While you were still learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
A Scientologist since the mid-70s, he hoped to adapt L. Ron Hubbard's Battlefield Earth for the big screen. Hubbard had published the novel in 1982, long after founding the Church of Scientology. Travolta even added his own money to the movie's budget, which ballooned up to $73 million. Everything backfired, though. Battlefield Earth was widely condemned, with many finding fault in the movie's acting.
Well, according to the Klinko historians, the species is called dog.
Dog.
Yes.
Obviously, the superior race, having the man-animal chauffeur to route.
Travolta's gonzo performance was mocked far and wide, as were those of Barry Pepper, Forrest Whitaker, and Kelly Preston. Basically, no one came out looking good, and the film grossed just under $30 million. Suffice to say, plans for a sequel film were abandoned.
We're going to be rich, right?
Right.
I am going to make you as happy as a baby cyclo on a straight diet of Grabango.
Which of these movies would you most want to see with a different cast? Let us know in the comments below.
In fact, I find it quite amusing, telling me to play nice.